Welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pod Podcast. The free NBA bet season is here, and this is what we do each and every day, giving you a quick 5-10 minutes, the bets from yesterday, talking about some bets today, and running up the tally. Like I said, the goal is to get to 10K. Took a little bit of hit yesterday, small, minor, right? Bron decided to show up. I didn't think that he was going to show up, but he did. So, and you'll see the numbers and you'll see what we're talking about in a little bit, man. But first and foremost, thank you for joining in. Thank you for following the series. If you haven't, get on the train, get on the money train, follow, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff that makes everything go round and round and makes the algorithm go. We need you to do that for us. We appreciate it. I am your host. I am him. I am the CEO. I am Moss Money. And that's my guy over there, and that key word, capital The, biggest degenerate of the group, Renzo. What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up with it?
Man, why Bron gotta show up, man? We were just talking about that. Like I said, man, if I would have knew Kareem would have showed up, it would have been a no brainer. So I guess that was kind of under wraps. I guess he just wanted to get it out the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But them jokers still does that overshadow it? Like them cats still lost to the Thunder of all people.
I like the Thunder though, man. I like the Thunder. I was on the Thunder. I was rooting for them.
Money line shit? You had that money line?
No, I had a money. I thought about springing in the money line, but we gotta get our footing together. If we was already up them 10 units we aiming for,
yeah,
it would have been a money line play, man. The Thunder, best cover team in the league.
Yeah, you did say that last week too.
They were the best Thunder team in the league, man.
You did say that. And
yeah,
they still doubting that boy Cam Thomas from Brooklyn.
I tell you, man. He threw 3 straight games now, right?
3 games over 40 points. They don't got nobody else who can score.
Yeah. What's his over-under? Is it at 30 yet? If it's not 30.
It'll probably be at 30 now. It was at 24. It was at 24 last game.
24, yeah. It's going to be like 30.
So low.
You might as well take it.
Yeah, might as well take it, man. All right, let's bring up the sheet from yesterday. There we go. This is the little sheet from yesterday. Those are the plays that we had. We were up almost over 7.5 units almost, but we took a little hit. We were down minus half a unit, so that took us back to, bring it up for you. We are now at 6.5 units. Still in the black, still profitable. Like we said, Bron showed up yesterday. I liked the under there. I thought the under was the right play. I didn't think he was going to break it. Like I said, I didn't know the Kareem and all the stars were there for that game, and everything pointed to the storyline being him against the not the Thunder, him against the Bucks made the storyline, but I guess Kareem had different plans. So we missed on that, but Jokic and Claxton obviously hit easily for us on the over. And then I thought Carter might have, with Bamba out, I thought Carter might have been their leading rebounder. I don't think he even was. Didn't watch that game, that Orlando game, but, that was a kind of miss. He had over 10 rebounds, I think 5 of the last 6 games. And he had a little spike when Mobamba was out. I think he went up to like 13 or 15 rebounds that game. But it looks like he and I thought this was low. So I paid for it though with the minus 135 line on it. He hit the under. So even day, but at the end of the day, some of the stuff was a little bit juicy, as you can see. That minus 135 hurt us a little bit, especially with Bron being minus 105. So we were down a half a unit on the day. Oh shit! What's up, Don? What's good, brother? How you, bro? I appreciate you jumping on. We're doing a little NBA, man. I know how you feel about your Detroit Lions. I don't know how you feel about your Detroit Pistons, right? Pistons been trash since. Oh, when has the Pistons been good?
Chauncey
and Sheed and all them and Rip.
Yeah. They had them couple years. They were respectable. They had them years with Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose. I mean, at least they could scare you a little bit.
They were washed at that point.
Yeah, they could scare you a little bit though.
They were washed at that point.
At least watch them. Yeah, they ass though.
So he said we don't need to talk about that. I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. I feel you. So those were the plays for yesterday. Moving moving on, like I said, we're still hovering about 7 units on our free NBA series. We're trying to run it up to 10K. So we got some ways to go. We're going to get our first rack hopefully here in the next before the week's end. So we'll have over a unit and keep running it and running it and running it. So like I said before, man, we're doing this for free, no strings attached. Cost you nothing. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend and tell a motherfucking friend. Does wonders for us on the background. Channel's growing crazy, so I appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us. Looking at today's slate, now that I was hoping that LA was playing today because I was going to fade the shit out of Bron today. Especially coming off that historical win. But we have a nice kind of a slate of games, some marquee games. Obviously, the Sixers and the Celtics are today. Um, I'm trying to think else. I don't. Is Kyrie playing today?
I'm not sure. I think I got him as game time decision right now, so
Okay,
it's
so
something you gotta wait to.
that's something to look out for. And then I would say Golden State Trailblazers is going to be a good game, but some of the star is out, and that's Steph Curry is out for that game as well. So looking at the slate, man, I think I'll talk about the home team for a little bit here, and we'll look at some other games. We'll look at them Detroit Pistons versus the Cavs, maybe. Um, can Boston, like, this is a huge game for Philly,
Mm-hmm.
right? In Boston,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to be on deck, I would think, and show up for this game because, we got it. They are the Achilles heel for the Sixers. We're going to have to beat Boston to get to where we want to get to from a Philadelphia 76ers standpoint. I feel like Boston's the best team in the league. I think the record reflects that. The Sixers are not too far behind. Have they played Boston already? They had to play Boston, right?
I don't think so. Let me see.
Is this the first time they're seeing each other this year? I think it is. Wow. No, 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 no. They saw them early on. It was the first game. Remember? It was the first game that opened up the NBA season with the Sixers in Boston.
Yeah, I think
So
you're
they
right.
lost that game 126 to 117. Tell me about this game, bro. What do you think? Were you looking at were you looking at this game?
I mean, it's a tough one, man. I mean, you gotta think if you could get. I mean, Sixers have been playing their best basketball of the year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Embiid is on a tear. He's a monster.
Right.
This is a game we have to get up for. Um, you just gotta think that we should be able to be competitive here. We played them, I guess, back in October 18th, Boston 126, Sixers 117.
Yeah.
It's a 9 point game. Look, I mean, I think Boston's playing, I think their worst basketball of the year, right?
Okay.
You look at their last 10 games. I think they're 5-5, 6-4 their last 10 games. Take
Mm-hmm.
their last 7 games, they're 3-4 in their last 7 games. And that's what wins against LA in overtime, Brooklyn without KD. That shouldn't even count. And Detroit, who's the worst team in basketball. So you got an 8 point loss to Phoenix. You lose to New York Knicks team, which is hot and cold, but I think they play hard.
Mm-hmm.
Lose to Miami. So I don't know. I mean, I think they've been playing for what it's worth their worst basketball. You look at the Sixers, man, at 8-2 in the last 10. Lost to New York last game. Got a 10 point loss to Orlando on a back to back. I liked Orlando that day. I think it was just a bad spot for the Sixers. Um, you got wins against Denver in there, against Jokic. You got Portland, you got the Clippers, you got Sacramento Kings, a high scoring game. I mean, I don't know. I think the Sixers playing their best basketball, and I think the Boston is kind of hitting mid season kind of hurdles here, man. So I think if it was ever a spot for us to get it right, if this game was at home, you love the Sixers. It being away is a tough spot. I think it's a game that if Boston is slumping a little bit, this is the game to get them up. So it's a tough spot either way. You make arguments either way. But I think it's going to be a tight game that's going to be competitive. I think Embiid's in the peak of his season. trying to dominate. I think it's a chip on our shoulders, a chip on his shoulders. It's a chip on Hart's shoulders now, getting an All-Star snub, even Maxey a little bit. We could get 4.5 points with them. I think you got to at least lean Sixers with the 4.5 points. I mean, you're not going to be surprised if they win. So I'd rather have the Sixers than Boston, but it's a tight game, man. The over and under is tight. It could be under, it could be over. I don't know. I haven't made my decision yet, but
Yeah.
if I do anything, I'll probably just fade the game and just watch it. To be quite honest, it's just could go either way. But if I had to lean somewhere, I would lean the Sixers, man. I think they could win the game. But if you could get a couple baskets and get the hook on a couple baskets, I mean, you gotta like that. I mean, your safeguard fouls at the end a little bit too. So, and if for some reason, if this line by the time tip off got to like 5.5 points, if people just like the public just like Boston, I would jump on the Sixers, man. At that point, you get 5 in the hook. So, I don't know. You gotta play it tight, but I think I would lean Sixers, but I haven't locked in
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. I think you got to wait on this one a little bit closer to game time because Brown is supposedly game time decision with illness. Smart game time decision also as well. I think an ankle injury. So if those guys are playing, you would think that the line might jump up probably to 5, maybe even a full point, 5.5. So it's something to look out for. I think that from a player's perspective, you know, I'm looking at Embiid and Tatum's overs. They're going to do what they're going to do. So I mean, Robert Williams is okay, but I mean, 1-on-1, nobody can really stick with Embiid. So I think that looking at those player points overs makes a lot of sense. Um, he doesn't really turn up the defense as well, so a sneaky play could be Robert Williams over. He doesn't really get threatened by anybody from the offensive side unless it's, somebody for real, for real. So I would look at that as well. Um, Hard to really say on this game, like you said, from a side perspective. Boston at home is always a tough out, but the line's a little short, I think, and it's probably actually right where it should be. Like you said, almost close to a 50-50 toss up on these games. So um, I would probably lean Boston just because we just can't beat Boston in Boston. But yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit and see where the chips fall. If Brown is out, give me Tatum on the over 30.5 all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He might drop 30. He might drop 35
Mm-hmm.
because they just going to need somebody to score. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, for him to score 35 is about 2-1, and so is Embiid. So
Mm-hmm.
I could see both of these guys going off in this game. Like you said, Sixers are coming in with a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They need to get this win. And what did Embiid do last time? He got 26, 15, and 5 in that game. Um, Tatum had Tatum and Brown have both had 35, leading the way. And for the Sixers, I think Harden had a good game. Yeah, Harden had 35, 8, and 7. So, we're going to see what the Sixers teams is because since they're reeling, and we'll see how that plays out. We'll definitely have some more picks. So if you guys aren't following us on YouTube, like I said, on my shorts, we're dropping plays each and every day. If you're gearing up from NBA, I know Super Bowl is right around the corner. Don't worry, I got bets out on Super Bowl too, so don't worry about that. But right now, this is specifically for NBA. Um, can you see these two teams in the East Finals? I can. I mean, but then again, we haven't got out the second round, so um, I it's tough because I don't really see anybody who could beat us in 7 outside of Boston. I think Cleveland would be really interesting. It's hard to get a win in Cleveland, but they just don't have enough, in my opinion. Um, in Milwaukee, Milwaukee's always a tough out. Giannis has been coming on pretty strong, dropping 50 and 20. You know what I mean? He's making a run in the case that for MVP. So I think the East is going to win it. Um, I don't think there's really anybody in the West. Golden State can always turn up, but they're just too beat up, in my opinion. Like there's just too beat up. If Morant can stay healthy, maybe Memphis. Maybe Memphis, but other than that, nobody scares you in the West. Really, you're not scared to go against any of these teams in seven. Maybe the Clippers if Kawhi finds that old Toronto magic and he turns it up and becomes the best player in the league again. But I think they were looking to will and deal before the trade deadline. So we will see how that plays out, Don. We will definitely see, and we'll keep chucking along with that. Before we get out of here, Renzo, any plays are you looking at right now? Just to give people a teasers of the games that you're looking at, sides, props, before we shut it down.
Yeah, man. Looking at his Cavs, um, Pistons game, and Detroit. Detroit, the worst team in basketball right now, arguably the worst team in basketball. Looking at that game, Cavs played really good at home, one of the best home teams. So gonna see what that line movement looks like. Probably hit that. Looking at the under in that game, man. I've been on a little hot streak with Cleveland's unders. So looking at that, man. This Indiana game. I like Indiana. I think they could possibly win that game, but got to dive in. And then the Kings versus Houston, man. Houston and Detroit probably the worst teams in basketball. I mean, yeah, Houston and Detroit probably the worst teams in basketball. The Kings have beat them, I think, about 20 points the last all three times they played this year, something crazy like that.
Oh
They
wow.
just played recently, a few days ago. They beat them by 20. So line's at 8, which is seems a little short. Probably should be like 10, 11. But I guess they're playing it in Houston. So we'll see, man. But looking at those games, man, not sure what plays I'm going to make. But those are probably the games I'm looking at, man.
Yeah, I want to look at this Clippers game. I feel like that line's a little bit long, but they've lost to the Clippers a couple times this year. I'm not sure with Luca and without Luca too. I think. I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Yeah, but a lot of them has been with Luca. Yeah, yeah. I'll keep digging and find. If you guys have been following, you know me. I'm on the player props more than the sides. So they're 2-1. But Dallas kind of was sticking out to me. Seems like a spot for a letdown game for the Clippers. So we'll definitely take a look. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Like I said, it's quick, it's short, it's easy. We talk about the plays from yesterday. We talk about the plays we're looking at for tomorrow, and then make sure you guys are following when we drop the plays. Around about 5:30, I'll drop the NBA plays, man. So for myself, Moss Money, for my guy Renzo, we are out of here. Appreciate everybody for jumping on. This is Money Pop Podcast. Peace.